Hey guys, and welcome back. Wait, huh? Where are we? This isn't Minecraft. This isn't Smite. It's World Tanks. Yeah, it's World Tanks, and we are. I'm just gonna show you. I've played this game for a while, and I'm just gonna show you a game that happened quite recently, which was probably the best game in my life. It's probably not the best game ever seen, of course. There's other people for that, not me. Don't watch me if you want to see the best game ever. But it's just kind of interesting for me. So here we're starting out in XVM, as you can see, gives us a chance to win as 58%, which is pretty good. It's actually really good. If you look at the teams, we have a lot less reds, which is just the quality of the player. The percentage next to their name is the win rate. And so I'm just going to unpause this, and it's actually quite boring for the first few minutes. So I'm just going to speed it up a little bit. If you get motion sickness, you might want to look away for a clear sight. So I'm looking around, and I'm saying like, okay, where do I want to go? So I decide I'm going to go over to this western flank, and at the start, you can see, look at the mini-map down in the corner. Look at all those red tanks, or enemy tanks on the other side. That's going to be half the demise of why this is such an intense game. So I'm going to keep playing this. So I'm heading along with my platoon mate, Fried Soap. He's in the KV-1S. I'm in the VK-3601H, a German heavy tier 6 tank. And so I'm heading around, and we already see that that flank is losing, or not really at this point, but in a second we will. And I see right here, I'm like, oh, I'm pretty much just like saying, everybody come shoot me. So I have to realize I have to get over this, and then here's the first enemies we encounter. So I'm gonna get this back up to 1, and I'll go back and fix him. So I'm looking at this T-34, and I'm just gonna take shots at him, because if I missed my first 2 shots like a derp. And so he gets unspotted for a second, but then he immediately gets respotted, and I get a penetrating hit. And this gun has 157 millimeters of penetration, and so I'm not really worried about penetrating this guy. I'm just worried about hitting him. This thing's got a very high DPM, very fast reload, and so I'm just gonna unload on this guy. He's not smart enough. He only started backing up at the last second. Then I see this KV-1S coming over. I miss a hit, and he goes unspotted. Um, so now, okay, I just want everybody to look at how many people are dead on my team. That is nasty, and we still only have a 45% win chance predicted by XVM, and they do have some okay players on their team. That Hellcat has got a 55%, but that Hellcat is not doing anything right now, so it's on the other flank. So now you see all these tanks that have been unspotted on the other flank, and so all these people over there, as you see, I'm out of fixed camera view. All the people over there are not dead, and so I'm sitting here and I'm like, I should probably look around, and I see, oh shit, there's a T-34 right behind me, and I start taking hits from more than one person. So I realized I should just probably back up. And that VK-3601H is that other VK, because that's the same tank as I'm in. I don't think it's as upgraded though. I think I think it is upgraded actually. I don't remember. So there's that KV-1S, and my platoon mate's over there dealing with him, and I see this T-34. And so we realize we gotta take care of this, because there's gonna be a lot more guys coming down that flank. And you see my friend going over there to try to take him out. Ends up not being the smartest thing to do, but yeah. So I see there's a bunch of guys on this flank, and I'm pulling back into cover, and I'm like, no way, I've got to wait for them to make their move, because if I put myself in a dangerous situation, I'd be open to fire for more than that tank. So let's wait for them to make the stupid move, which happens. See, I don't have the gun depression on this tank to shoot over this ridge. So I'm looking here, and I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for him to pop out, and then bam, plant one right into his turret, pull back, wait for the reload, which isn't that slow, well, which isn't slow at all. Plant another one into him. If he's gonna want to take shots, that's fine with me. And now this KV-1 right here should not be here. He should be falling back, maybe supporting me, but he's way too low health to be doing anything. And so now I'm looking. I see there's the KV-1s come up a little closer, pop out, realize I don't have it, and then look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks all coming my way, and actually this KV-2 is coming over to support me, which is good. Right at this point, XPM is still giving us a 54% chance of victory, and so I didn't have these mods installed at the time. I actually just installed these to check how close this game was, and so I did not know. And as you see in the top leftish corner, it's a bit closer to the middle. That's my damage total, 634 damage. So I see this guy. He's trying to get around me and flank me. He doesn't. Now he just spotted that KV-2 and he's going back. And now I'm turning around like, okay, I don't know what to do. I'm a bit pinned down. I get a lucky shot right there, and then I see this T-40 who's just derping around, and then I realize I gotta get under his gun, but it doesn't matter because he's stupid and pulls back. And I get lucky right there, and I put one right over the sand mound, just in the top corner of his he's like paper. And so now there's this KV, and he's pulling up, and I realize that he's gonna, if I don't make a move soon, so I turn around and I see that this T-34 is about to take out this KV, and I realize if I had not done that, he would have been dead, and probably would have lost this game. KV misses a shot, probably shooting at the KV-2. I see there's this T-40, and I realize because he's got a big gun on him, and I gotta take him out really fast. And so as you rock your gun, what I did there is I rolled forward and then I jammed on the brakes and I went right backwards, and that little bit of extra gun depression is what got me that kill. If I had not done that, I would have not had the gun depression kill him. So now that's 2, the tank's dead. One. And now I have a KV-2 and a KV-1 coming straight at me. I have the KV-2 for support. His gun's probably reloaded by now. And this KV-1's looking me in the eye, and he's getting kind of greedy. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fall back a little bit. I'm going to wait for them. I'm going to keep moving, because if somebody's coming up over the ridgeline behind me and is going to get a shot at me, I'm going to try to dodge it if I can. I plant a shot right into his mantlet, and then the KV-2 comes through and destroys the enemy KV-2, which has probably saved us the game. And then I realize this guy's screwed, and he tries to take a shot and bounces off the KV-2, and I'm realizing at this point we have a 56% chance of winning, which is saying a lot, because they have 4 tanks on their team, and our Crusader, or not our Crusader, but our Cromwell, who's doing okay, had just died, so he's probably watching the match, and that VK3601H has 4 kills, and there's a Jackson, which is a nasty American tank destroyer, and then the Churchill, which I'm not really scared of at all, but you'll see later in the match. See, now I'm looking around. I'm kind of wary because I'm expecting more people to come down, but then I realize that they might go for cap because of how much firepower we have on these guys. I mean, that KV-2's got I don't know the exact. So okay. I don't know the exact millimeters, but it's a very big gun. It's like a mortar, if anything. And now this Jackson is shooting at me. He blows my tracks off with 1 hit. Bounces another, and then I realized, oh, pull back. I didn't want to use my repair kit right there, but then I did just take a penetrating hit. I didn't want to use my repair kit right there because I would have, because it wasn't that big of a deal, because he was just looking at my front armor, and if he was smart enough, it would have been a big deal, but he wasn't. So we realized we're gonna have to just protect the cap, because that's what they're gonna have to go for if they're gonna want to win. So we wait for a minute. So I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. And so I realize I'm going to have to take the front on this, or else he's going to get hurt. And so I'm asking, should we cap? And obviously they're like, no. And then it's like, let them make a move. And then I was like, hold our ground. And then he's like, affirmative. And then I told the KV-2, if you're going to take out after you fire, just back up. Just get out of the way. Because he's got a 26-second reload. And so he's watching my back. I'm watching his front. And there, we see someone's capping. And so I'm like, okay, we have to make a move now. There's 3 people in the cap. which means, and then somebody leaves, which makes us think somebody's going to go around and flank. So I have to reset the cap by scoring a damaging hit on whoever's in there. And so I'm going to peek around this corner, spot whoever it is, and maybe get a pot shot on them. So I look around the corner. There, this is the Jackson. I put a shot into him, I roll back. Because I'm a close to a one shot for him. I'm a two shot. And I know there's somebody else in that cap. And that person in the cap might be moving towards us, so we have to be careful. So that Jackson's just going to sit there and wait. And I accidentally turned my tank and made it so the gun depression was ruined as I went up the hill. So I'm going to try to bait a shot out of the Jackson. But in the end it doesn't really matter. Because it's going to bounce. So then I realize, okay, if we don't make a move soon, I have to reset the cap a bit again. So I take a shot there, he fires back at me, bounces off my mantlet, and that KV-2 rolls out there and gets a very good shot, finishes him off, and I realize, okay, roll back, because that Churchill might have be a horrible tank overall, but can probably penetrate if he hits the right spot. So I come out here, I'm starting to fire through the houses, and I see his Churchill, and I'm not scared of it. Look, I bounce one shot, get another one in him. 2 shots, 3 shots, just bounced. No problems. So I realized that's almost a GG. Now we have that VK-36018, who's a bit of a slow tank if you don't have the upgraded engine. And so now we're realizing, like, we're in this. We weren't in this before, but look at us now. We're playing against a 47% and a 48%. And so now I have 5 kills and 2,131 damage, which isn't amazing. But now it's for, like, if they're predicting that we have a 91% chance of battle, which is a huge difference from a 45%. And so now I'm really worried about this VK-36018, because if you look at it, he's got 4 kills. He's got a big gun that could probably one-shot me on a good damage roll. And then there's this AMX-40, which if you're scared of, that's sad, because this is probably the worst game in the game. It's slow. It used to get scout matchmaking. Now it doesn't. It's slow, but it does have troll armor, a bit of duck armor, just very sloped and annoying. And so now I'm gonna replay this. So now we're getting really nervous. I'm gonna hide so that whenever I spot him, it's probably gonna be because of proximity. As if you're within 15 meters of somebody, you're automatically gonna spot them. And so I'm gonna sit here and I'm ready, because we're both possible one shots. Well, he's a no matter what one shot. I'm a one shot. And so now we're sitting here and we're getting kind of antsy because we doubt that we're gonna cap. We're expecting that VK-36018, and bam, there he is. He could have, if he had gotten a shot off me, I would have ended it. So I roll back into cover. I'm hiding behind this building, and I realize I gotta start putting shots in him, or else he's gonna work his way into a position where I might not be able to penetrate every time. And right now he's driving along. Right, let me go into fixed camera. And so he's behind that building, and he gets a shot on me, which was probably the stupidest thing I could have done. But wow, dare I say it? Calculated. I calculated that. I knew he was gonna do that. No, I'm just kidding. I got super lucky. Came out with 11 health, and I realized, oh, he fired, and then the KV-2 misses his shot. I pop back in, not even aiming, just shot. Kind of got really lucky. Now I'm pulling back, and I was really retarded right there, and I took away some of my cover, which I was face pounding at the second. And so I'm pulling out, and he's gonna drive around. I think he's gonna try to make a move and drive around, which it's almost too late for him. And so I'm gonna come out. He's gonna start driving. I'm gonna keep the building in between each other, and he's right there. Doesn't have his gun pointed towards me, and then blammo, he's done. And so we realized we just won this game from a 5 or a 4v2. And so now we're just capping, and I could like drive circles around that AMX-40. He cannot penetrate me anywhere. He probably couldn't even penetrate the top of my engine deck. So I'm like be ready, and then I'm like, oh, it's just a AMX-40. So I'm like, kinda. And then I see him. He spots him, and I'm like just shooting through the brush and the floors or the houses, And I'm like, oh, I want this so bad. I want to get a brothers in arms right now, and I just want to end this game so badly. And so now we're just capping, and I didn't realize to step out of the cap. My friend in Skype recommended it to me, and I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. So so here I'm aiming in, and I see him, and I'm like, oh, I see the top of him. See, he bounces a shot, because that gun, he's got a little, he's probably the slowest light tank available. So, and then I ricochet one, and we cap the base, and I'm just like, oh my god. I don't know how that could have been any worse.